Well, good evening. October the 1st. 2020. 2020. What a year this has been. 2020 is perfect vision. I wear glasses. I got, my eyes are old. But it's not always the vision that you see through your eyes. It's just so crystal clear. I was sound asleep for so long. In early 2016, like many others, some earlier than that, started seeing some medulla changes, which a lot of people reject, or a lot of people, that's all they're into now, just medulla changes. They didn't move on. Then the moon landing, then 9/11. Whoa. Planes or no planes. Jet fuel or no jet fuel. Come to the realization that there's pure evil in this world. And it runs this world. And those at the top of the food chain serve that evil. It's quite apparent now, especially this year, seeing how all the countries are in sync with the very same agenda. Climate change, let's look at that one. CO2 emissions. George Floyd, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. A deadly virus. Let's lock them down so they can't communicate, can't compare notes, make everything go virtual over the airways. And who runs the airways? Lucifer. He's the ruler of the airway. The God of this world, the little g. He's the ruler of the airways. Too much CO2 in the air. George Floyd, a contagious virus that's killing millions. Now it's all about a test. And it's just amazing how many different tests and different vaccines they're going to come out with. That none of it's good. Not for the human race. Because Lucifer hates the human race. And he has his minions at the top of the pyramid, running the show for him. Controls the media, controls the governments, controls the militaries, the police force, secret societies that have communicated with signs, symbols, numbers, and colors since the Tower of Babel. CO2. Wear a mask. Oh, it's just a mask. Let's make it mandatory worldwide to control this deadly virus. What's that do to the CO2 emission from a human being? It puts it right back into their body to make them sick. But it's not being emitted into the atmosphere. Oh. George Floyd, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. For 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Who timed that? Who put the stopwatch on that? It wouldn't have anything to do with the first tower supposedly hit by an airplane at 8:46 a.m. on September 11, 2001. If you believe an airplane hit it. If you believe an airplane hit the Pentagon, show me proof. October the 2nd, I got up and turned on the news. I'd already been waking up. It didn't take me half a day to figure out that one. 58 people. Worst mass shooting in the history of America. 58. 5 plus 8 is 13. They had to outdo the Pulse nightclub. 49 did. 4 plus 9, 13. Carrying victims to the Pulse nightclub. So obvious. 200 rounds going down the hallway there at the Mandalay Hotel. No one heard that out on the concert field, which is a pretty far piece away. Timeline changed many times. But all of a sudden, you could hear it plain as day, almost like it was coming out of the loudspeakers. Don't you find it funny that immediately there was 58 dead, all kinds of wounded, which is walking around without crutches and stuff after being bleeding out by shot in the foot, or shot 3 times in the chest, laying there smiling and grinning the next day, or shot in the head, or shot in the neck, the bullet's still there, out giving an interview the next day. 58 and no one else ever died. They said it was 500 and some odd wounded. This morning they said 58 dead and over 800 injured. We're changing history already, are we? How can anybody believe anything anymore? And did anybody, where I'm at, it was a full moon last night. Well, no, I take that back. Tonight's the full moon. But last night, when I let the dogs out for the last time, man, it was like a giant spotlight in the sky. I don't recall it ever being that bright. But that put me to thinking too. Another proof that this is not a ball. If it's that bright when it's big, from the reflection of something that's supposed to be 93 million miles away, how come it's not that bright when it's only half or a quarter? Same light's reflecting off of it, right? Or would you take the biblical aspect of it where it says 4 times that the moon gives off her own light? And right at the very start of the first chapter of Genesis, don't believe anything I'm saying. I'm just sitting here rambling on, just speaking my mind, saying things that I see, which I could be wrong. In creation, and darkness was on the deep. That's before he created 2 lights and put them in the firmament, which actually makes a circle in the summertime where I'm at. As the winter months come, it starts going across. And then it's way down south in the wintertime. So I can't see the curvature. But in the summertime, I can watch it make a C shape right around the sky. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. But anyhow, people are saying that there's a third object up there. What is the darkness that was on the face of the deep? Could that have been a hint to another object besides the sun and the moon? I don't know. And he created the stars also. Genesis 1:16. These are two scriptures that makes me convinced that stars are not what they tell me. And I can see them from people using these P1000 and zooming in on them. They're not a solid planet. But anyhow, go back to Revelations 12. When the dragon was cast down and drew a third part of the stars with him, how could he draw giant celestial bodies from billions of light years away down to the surface of the earth? Now he drew the fallen angels. And channels that I used to watch, they refuse to talk about the flat earth. They either reject it or they're cowards, afraid they'll ruin their image on their channel and they won't get their PayPal. That is the greatest deception. That would show everybody that all these governments that support these space programs are in cahoots. They're all members of secret societies that control this world, the new world order, and it is here. It don't matter whether it's Trump or Biden. They both serve the same master, Lucifer. I can't even watch anybody that's and supposed people that are awake to see the Mandela effect or know the shape of the earth is not a ball, or know that 9/11 was a lie. So that ought to tell you right there that every politician since 2001 has been in on it. But they're still talking about the election. The right-left narrative. They ain't awake. If they ain't talking about the flat earth, you ain't awake either. You're part of the problem. Yeah. If they hate you, know they hated me first. That's what Jesus said. I've been richly blessed in my life. I've had my ups and downs. I was no saint growing up, and I'm no saint now. But my eyes were opened. I had to everybody go through a series of events to get to where they are right now. I honestly think I was connected with some people in these secret societies in my younger years, looking back now. But they taught me a lot. I'm not in no secret society, no way. But how do you know that? How do you know anything? There are channels out there that have even come out and admitted to be Masons, and they're still in the truther community watch like they are gods. And they are being promoted by your platforms. Oh, they'll get a video deleted every now and again. Or get demonetized on a video or two. But the controllers, they have all the money. You can demonetize a channel and pay them a different way. Remember, the evil one has to devour, tell what he's up to show the truth. Because we have a free will. And how can you use that free will if you don't know that there is an option? That's what I don't understand yet. How is everybody going to be given the option when the mark really comes into existence? They will have to know that it is the mark of the beast before they take it. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know how that all is going to work. They've been telegraphing all this through these shootings. Remember a couple years ago? 888 Bestgate. The news channel shut up, but the police were there within 60 seconds because they were having a drill right down the street. 888 Bestgate. Now who's in the news? Bill Gates. Bill Gates is 33 in numerology. Broad is the gate that leads off to destruction, and many will be found thereon. But narrow and straight is the gate that leads off to salvation. We can only pray that we find it. It's so much deception. You just don't know who to believe or who to trust anymore. I long for someone to sit down and have a conversation with, but that just doesn't happen with me. I'll sit and I think about all these things. Do I want to make a video or don't I? Why? Just to be mocked at or scoffed or buried down so deep in the algorithms that nobody sees it, other than those that are subscribed and hit the bell, which I never ask anybody to do. But there are channels that I'm subscribed to and I've hit the bell and I don't get notified. They're playing games. And BitChute, they just prop up the same channels over and over and over and over. Money, money, money. The root of all evil. Yeah, I've been richly blessed. I got a house which is not mine. Nothing on this earth is actually ours. Come to that realization. They could take it away at any time. And they are trying, and they will destroy the middle class financially. And they will coerce people into taking this mark. Right now, it's the mask of the beast. Buy or sell. You need it. I don't. I ain't even going out there to deal with them. And it's frequencies. Frequencies. Don't you get it? And how do you know anything on here that is real? World Wide Web, www. 666. The web. Who controls it too? Who can put anything they want on it? Who can prop up anybody they want? Who can promote anything they want? Just like all your TV channels, your programming, they're all in sync. It doesn't matter what channel it is. They read teleprompters. They get the information from up top there at the top of their pyramid. The same people control all of them. But how could so few do that? Think about it. 7 billion. Just 1% is 70 million. That's enough to control. Put news anchors in every TV station. Government officials. High military ranking officials. High ranking in the police departments. Easy. Then you got your order followers, your lesser Masons that haven't reached that degree of knowledge yet, but they think they're doing right. Pounding people over the head with a billy club because they're not social distancing or fighting back against a lockdown. A lockdown, social distancing, a mask, a muzzle. Shut them up. Lock them down. Let's control the world. The new world order that the first Bush said, we have a golden opportunity for a new world order and we will get it. Then 9/11 happened. That's satanic ritual. Then look at all the other rituals that's happened. CERN, Gotham Tunnel, all these demonic statues, let alone what was Vegas. What was the MGM? The largest pyramid in the U.S. with a sphinx, an obelisk overlooking the concert field. Where I live, it's Indianapolis. There's a monument circle, and I can remember going down there when I was a kid. I mean, it was so much different. And they always strung the lights down from the top. It's actually an obelisk with a woman bearing a torch up top, just basically like the Statue of Liberty, the illuminated one, the torch of freedom. Yeah, right. Where they'd stretch lights down and make it a giant Christmas tree. And every year people would go down there for the lighting of the tree. They've already announced that will be virtual this year. No one will be allowed to go down there and watch them flip the switch and turn on the lights. And that happens Thanksgiving. 2 months out, and they already know that there will be a lockdown. They're spending so much money putting stickers and remodifying the floors on all these cooperation businesses, because the little one's going. Bringing the floors. And who's making all the money with the mask? 7 billion people, and they want everybody wearing one? Do the math. And stores like Kroger's right over here by me, I understand they're really busy and hiring. Well, when you shut down restaurants and places for people to go out to eat and little mom and pop stores, people are doing more cooking at home. They got to go to the grocery store. And how many choices do they have now? Got your big chains. You got your big corporations that are making billions. And speaking of that, whatever happened to that $8 trillion? Here in the U.S., Congress is going back on vacation again. Still talking about that second stimulus package, which hasn't happened. Where's the $8 trillion? Do the math. Look it up. It's verifiable. They stowed $8 trillion and hadn't been accountable for a dime of it yet. What time am I? Oh, 24 minutes. Well, I sometimes get reluctant to even make one of these, but I like to, myself, hear from other people of like mind when they're sitting talking and rambling on and getting a little irritated with the bullshit we're seeing. So I'll throw this out there because I do have a few people that watch me. I don't know why. I'm just an old fart. But I will say this. You know, if somebody calls you on the phone and they're become argumentary, trying to sell you something, and you tell them, I'm not interested, not interested. Eventually you got to hang up. Or they will get smart mouth with you and start calling you names or something. You hang up. Same principle. Block them. What would you do if they're doing it to you on the phone? And there's another thing happening. And I've seen it on other people's channels. You got people leaving links to XXX rated sites in your comments. I don't know how many I've blocked. This world, man, it's not what it was. And the flat earth was the greatest awakening to me. And it wasn't from watching videos. I'd watched and heard a few things, but one day it was raining and I was gassing up. And it was kind of like early in the morning. Wasn't real early, but the sun was over in the east. And the clouds were starting to part. And they were dark clouds from the rain. And I was looking at it. And the sun rays were kind of going through in all directions, not coming straight through. I stood there. And I got to thinking, that ain't right. How can that be? Sun travels in a straight line. Then I started doing my research and getting into it. And come to the realization, how can light travel in utter darkness? And then change back to light. Oh, it has to have an atmosphere. Yeah, right. Bullshit. Where's the proof of an ISS? That you can only see every 3 or 4 weeks for 4 or 5 minutes. Look it up. All you will see is a computer-generated short video of things going together. That was it. Where's the real footage of any construction of that thing in space? It had to take a long time. The space shuttle going up to do it, right? I have not seen any footage of it. If anybody has it, show me. But they did sure made a big issue of showing 2 female astronaut, taking 6 hours out there floating around to replace one battery. If it takes that long to replace one battery, how long did it take to make that giant football field size thing? There ought to be all kinds of footage. Use your head, people. There is no right or left. There is no right wing or left wing. Shootings. Satanic rituals. Yeah. We have been lied to and deceived by the father of the lie. He was a liar and a murderer from the beginning. He has convinced those at the top that they can become as God. They can become immortal. Just fall down and worship him. Jesus didn't. After he offered him all the kingdoms of this earth. Jesus didn't deny he had that authority to offer him all the kingdoms of this earth. So what do you think these son of a bitches that throw out their devil horns or their 666 signs, that are locking down the world and wanting to come and make it mandatory for you to get a needle stuck in your arm in one way or another, or some tattoo. The mark of the beast, the New World Order, it is here. They control the weather, they control everything. But somebody that's just waking up hearing me say that, oh, you're a nutcase. You're a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, going way back. We've been lied to. Just about anything you look into, you can tell it. If especially the U.S. government was involved, it was a lie. Babylon, Washington, D.C., Washington, Mason, nestled in between Maryland and Virginia, the Virgin Mary gave birth to Babylon. I used to think this was the greatest country on earth. People worshiping that flag ain't got a clue what that flag represents. Love you all. Down the road.